We're here in Whitby, Ontario with Clara Hughes for the first test event for Clara's Big Ride, which is starting in, what, about a week?
Yeah, March 14th.
So, Clara, first of all, I mean, there's been a lot of publicity. We've been telling people, other people have been talking about your ride, but can you give us your overview? What is Clara's Big Ride?
Well, it's a 110-day ride, 12,000 kilometers, and we're making, I think, 93 community stops all around Canada, including the north. We're doing a tour through the north, and I'm riding the Dempster Highway from Inuvik to Dawson City, a 750-kilometer stretch of, it should be dirt, but it's going to be ice and snow at this time of the year in the spring. And it's all about raising awareness for mental health and breaking down the stigma attached to mental illness. A lot of people have seen me being involved with the Bell Let's Talk campaign. This is an extension of that campaign, but it's like a big extension. I mean, we're actually riding 12,000 kilometers, and we being me and my husband Peter Guzman, and I have a third rider that's actually made up of 3 people. Mark Walters is riding part of the Atlantic section with us. A friend of mine, a former teammate from the Saturn days, Burke Swindlehurst, is riding from Toronto to Halifax and then the Dempster. And then finally Ina Teutenberg, a good friend and old teammate, is riding from Vancouver all the way back to Ottawa with us. So I have a good crew of domestiques. And we've managed to, over the last year, raise enough money to completely underwrite this by Corporate Canada. So many different sponsors. The bike industry has come through in Canada. Specialized Canada has been amazing, as they always have been for me. Perlazumi, Shimano, Greg Hammond have just gone above and beyond, and we have the best equipment to get us through any circumstance, any climate, any snowstorm, and it's going to be epic. And along the way, I'm doing 260 community events, which will be a combination of school visits in the mornings with junior high schools, welcome events like we're tested here today in Whitby, and then also evening events that are fundraisers for the communities, and all the funds raised stay local. So none of it goes to the ride or to Bell Let's Talk. It's all about infusing money and enthusiasm and encouragement and highlighting what's happening for mental health across Canada.
So, I mean, you've always been well known for the Let's Talk campaign, and now the ride. Why is this so important to you? Like, why do you put so much effort and go through so much pain for this?
Well, I just can't not try to make a difference. And I realized after the Vancouver Olympics that I had a chance to actually share more than just winning Olympic medals in, 2 sports. I could talk about the struggles I went through. And I honestly didn't know the impact that would have. And my struggles were going through depression. I had a really hard time after my first Olympics, being overtrained and just being totally destroyed by the environment of bike racing. It was awful, and I hated it, and I hated myself because of it. And it took me a couple of good years of struggle to come back to life. And there were really, so many good people have come into my life, including coaches like Eric Van Den Eyne, my speed skating coach Julie Wong, and finally my last coach, Chris Rosdelski, in cycling, and so many other people along the way that really helped me through and brought me back to life and made me realize there's different ways to train and go about it, and I could actually enjoy at a certain level the pain and the struggle and the suffering and intensity of training for something like an Olympics. But talking about depression and having people connect to that made me realize that, this is something that affects everyone. How can I make a difference? How can I do more than just the Bell Let's Talk Day campaign? And when I quit after the London Olympics, I just thought the best way is to ride the bike. By bike, go across Canada, reach every community, and that's where this idea for the ride started. And I just feel like the same way I felt about my Olympic voyage, I guess you could call it, I just had to. There was something inside of me that I was just like, I just feel like I need to do this because it means something to me, but not just me. This one is not about me, it's about everybody else, and I'm really excited about that.
So, what from your perspective then, it's not going to be about so much the money that's being raised, it's going to be about the participation community, is that it?
It is really about just raising this conversation to a whole new level on mental health, really connecting young Canadians with what it means, what mental illness is, what it means to struggle with it, and also that there are a lot of people that do a lot of great things in life that live with a form of mental illness, and it's not something that you can fix yourself, that it's, just to break down the stigma and the shame and the suffering and silence that people do. I really want to change that, but if there is fundraising, and we really hope there is going to be along the way, and we have on the website an app where you can click in your region and you can create your own activity, riding, running, whatever it is, and you can fundraise. All the mechanisms are there, and you can choose where your funds go. So they don't go to an overall campaign, they don't go to this ride, they go, if you want it to go to this organization in your neck of the woods, it goes there. So it's really cool, and I really, it's going to unfold as the ride starts, and people are going to realize that this is something where I get to do something and make a difference in my backyard. Or you can send your money to Tuktoyaktuk if you want. You choose though. So it's really, I really hope people are going to get on the fundraising train and realize that they can support really good people doing great work in their communities and learn what's going on in their communities. And it doesn't have to be money, it can be time, maybe volunteering, but also just realizing the impact of listening and of tolerance and patience for people who are struggling, and that sometimes just listening to someone and then helping them get help, you can save their life and change their life. And that it happened for me so many times when I had that support as an athlete. That's not the case for most people that are just, in their everyday lives that aren't in the spotlight. So I really want to encourage people that we're all in this together and we can all make a difference for each other.
Great. Well, thanks, and good luck with your ride.
Thanks, Rob. I'm going to need it.